Hello, hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, no matter where you're calling from. It's great to see you here today. My name's Mike. I'm one of the co-founders here at Waybook, and it's my absolute pleasure to be spending the next 30 or so minutes with you today to talk about, as you can see, wherever those slides are compared to me, the Waybook product updates for August 2022. Whew. It's been a busy month. It's been a hectic one on this side, and we're so excited with some of the things that have hit your Waybook platforms in the last few weeks, and we cannot wait to share that with you now. Also on the call today, you have the fantastic Elle, who is our head of customer success here at Waybook, and she will be on hand to answer any questions that you have that I might not be able to answer, and of course to kind of say hello and maybe cheer us on in the chat. So thanks for joining us, Ellen. Thanks for joining us, everybody else. So without further ado, let's just jump straight into it. What we're going to be covering today in August updates are some of the core fundamental things that have been pushed out to Waybook in the last 4 weeks. First up, we're going to be looking at the slightly refreshed interface, which if you're a Waybook user and you're eagle-eyed, you've probably already seen it, and we hope you've probably already navigated your way around the new interface. We're now also going to be talking to you about the difference between, or the introduction of reference documents, and really just making sure that everybody is fully comfortable with what the difference is between a standard Waybook document is and a reference document. We have also launched weekly summary emails, which I'll be sharing through very soon. We have Waybook Pro, which has launched in August as well. And one that I'm personally incredibly excited about is the Tango importer. Now, if you don't know what Tango is, it's not the delicious fizzy drink. It is another fantastic product, which we have fully integrated with this month. So I can't wait to show you that. And finally, we've got a few other embed options, and then I'm excited to give you a sneak peek into what's coming very soon to your Waybook dashboard. So once again, thanks for joining. I'm going to jump straight into it, but you can already see that Elle's in the chat, ready to say hey if you are around. Cool. So let's kick off with the one that you've probably already mostly seen, and that is the refreshed interface. Now, the reason why we decided to start working on a slightly refreshed interface for Waybook was basically to give you as a Waybook user more focus on your content, making it easier for you to create, to structure, to own and control your content, and of course, make it easier for your readers to onboard themselves, to navigate, refresh, and train themselves on your organizational information. We also wanted to make sure that it was faster and more obvious in how you can search and navigate around your content. So what did we actually do? Now, you might have already seen, and I will show you very shortly, is that we basically stripped back the dashboard ever so slightly. So on the previous Waybook interface, you had a lot of the buttons that you would need at any of the time. Whereas now we've kind of concertinaed some of that core interface into really directing your kind of focus within Waybook more on your content, whilst making sure that any of the elements of controls you need is always accessible and available. We've also added, and this is a small feature, but personally I've used it loads and I really do enjoy it, is a new ability to filter all of your contacts, your content by the bookmark feature. So for those of you who don't use the bookmark feature within Waybook yet, this is essentially where each individual user can highlight their favorite or most important documents. And now I'll show you very shortly how you can navigate to that. We've also changed the dashboard and updates view, which I'll show you in just a second. And how you get this, you do nothing. It's already available in all of your accounts already. So let me just screen share onto a little demo account here, and I'll show you a little bit about what I'm talking about if you haven't yet seen it. So you should now be able to see my Waybook demo account here. What you'll notice is the core difference is all of the navigation at the top used to have the full text, the full titles, and we know that once you've clicked on the members tab once, the reports tab once, you know what it is. So actually we've just cleaned this look up a little bit at the top, really for the purpose to make sure that for you and your readers, the search bar, which you can see here, has way more prominence. Now, we know that a lot of avid Waybook users use search as much, if not more than Google, in a way for you to be able to navigate to the content you need or answer the questions about your organizational knowledge without speaking to your colleagues or interrupting other people's workflows. So now that's way more prominent and available for your team. You'll also notice that instead of a long stack of 6 or 7 links on the top left-hand navigation here, you're able to just go either to the dashboard or to the updates. Dashboard is essentially where you're able to see all of the different tabs of content organized in the way that people most like to view that. So first of all, we have all of your incomplete documents. And as a reader, this is essentially an ordered list of the documents that I need to go through to either onboard or train myself on the information that you as a Waybook manager has shared. Of course, once you've completed that, that will then go into the completed tab. And if for whatever reason I'm pulled away, jump in a meeting, it's the end of the day, I'm always able to go back to what's been recently viewed in order for me to make sure that I'm always staying in the right flow of consuming your Waybook content. You'll also see the bookmarks tab is now here on the left on the right hand side, and these are the core documents in which I've bookmarked as an individual user to be important for me to go back to on a regular basis. Now, I did mention that there's another way now of viewing your bookmarks, and you'll see on the left-hand navigation that that is now down here in the bottom right. So if I click on this, what it will do is it will actually filter all of the information available in my Waybook and just show me those documents that have been bookmarked. And we've already seen this being used in a really fascinating way, where of course there's lots of information that we absorb when we're either onboarding or learning a new role. But now this can essentially be my tailored version of a Waybook, just looking at the core SOPs, activities, policies that impact and affect me on a day-to-day basis. Of course, you'll never get stuck on it because we will remind you that you're in bookmark mode as you need it. Now, if I toggle over into edit mode, you'll see that up here, you'll have the ability to quick add all of your documents as before, either as a category, a subject, or a document. And you'll also be able to access the templates page from this navigation up here. So that is, in short, what the refreshed interface looks like. There are more changes coming soon, and we're making sure that these changes are done in a way that will not disrupt, but only enhance your usage of Waybook, where we're going to be making sure that the dashboard enables your team to get into the content faster, make it more easy in order for them to absorb. So that's essentially the interface. Next up, I'm excited to share with you the concept of reference documents. Now, this conversation of a reference document has been there since the inception of Waybook. Our mission is to enable every business to get their business on the same page, making sure that all of the knowledge, the insights, the information are effectively shared between you and your teams to get people to value and providing value in the business as quickly as possible. But sometimes we can also overload people with various bits of knowledge and information. So whilst we still want your Waybook to be your single source of truth, we wanted to give you a little bit more flexibility because not all content is made equal. And in order for you to still have this single source of truth and have everything in it, but still focus on the stuff that actually makes people better at what they do and more equipped at what they do, we've introduced the concept of reference documents. Now, in short, you can turn any of your documents into reference document. And what this means is that it removes it from the completion requirement. It removes it from any updates, from any notifications. We also don't motivate your team to go through that content with completion tracking, but it will essentially be available within their dashboard, available within search. And this might be things like how to make tea and coffee in the office. It might be things on policies or procedures that aren't essential for people to know, but are bonus information, previous lessons that we might have had, or ways that we work within the business that we do want to share, but we don't necessarily need everybody to go through at all times. Now, the way you can do this, and again, I'll just toggle back into our Waybook dashboard here, is you can easily go into edit mode. You can click on any of your documents. So let's pick company history. And if you go into settings, we can make this reference only. Now, once that's reference only, that will make all of those changes which I mentioned there. Now, obviously, this is an empty document. I probably shouldn't have clicked on that one. But if we just add a couple of steps there, just so we get the principle of what a reference document looks like as we're navigating through. So if I make a little change, I'll just put one space of content in each of those, and I publish that change. I'll publish this, but it will tell me that this document is a reference document only, so no notifications will be sent out on that. Of course, you can then click this button and change that if you wanted to, but let's say we reset that progress. Now, if I toggle back over into reader mode, what you'll notice is that the status report on that document is not there. So you know from a quick view of your dashboard which of your pieces of information need to be completed. And if I reset that one there, you'll see that it will be an empty circle. But if it's not there, then you know it's a reference document. Now, of course, as you're moving through your normal documents, you're able to mark that as complete. It will track your progress, and it will also show you on the right-hand side now, from a quick view, how much more you have to go within that document. On a reference document, it's slightly different in that you can still tick through, but we're not tracking your progress. We're just moving you on to that next step. But to ensure that your team always know what they have and haven't seen and understood, it will always show your user when they last viewed that document. One final thing to make clear within this is that this information is still all available in reports. So as a document owner, you will still know when somebody has or hasn't seen a reference document, but they won't be encouraged to complete that information as they're going through. So that is your introduction to reference documents. We're really excited for all of the flexibility that will be able to bring you within sharing the different types of knowledge and information that lives across your Waybook. Next up, we have our weekly summary email. Now, this came as a massive request from a lot of Waybook users and was built on the principle that we know what's in our Waybook, our team know what's in our Waybook, but as knowledge and information gets updated, changes, and our lives get busier, it's nice for us to have that little notification on a weekly basis to give our teams an update on where they are with the company information, what has recently been updated, what's currently been incomplete, and what other information they still need to go through in order to complete their Waybook knowledge. So this really came for you to be able to improve the visibility of both your content and your Waybook to your team, and also to encourage the completion and also reference of the information. So Waybook isn't just about onboarding new team members, it's about keeping your team on the same page at all times. And the summary email is essentially just that weekly notification which will land in their inbox, sharing them the high-level pieces of information on what documents they have access to and their status. Now, this is all enabled on all of your accounts by default, but if for whatever reason you did want to turn this off, then anyone with publish access within your Waybook can just simply go into your Waybook settings. So you'll click up into the settings tab here. You'll be able to navigate into emails, and just by flicking this toggle here, you'll be able to turn off your weekly emails for your team. So hopefully you've seen them in your dashboard and have begun to get some of the value of what these weekly emails can bring. But if not, they'll be in your inbox on Monday. So moving on, after your weekly emails, one of the big things that I have no doubt you've been aware of, because we've sent a couple of emails this month, is the introduction of Waybook Pro. Now, we chose to introduce Waybook Pro into the product as an ability for us to give additional layers of customization, additional layers of support and security, and also making sure that people still had an amazing product on both Waybook Core and Waybook Pro. So this lies across a few different additional features, one of which I'll explore today, is the manager permission. And I'll come back to that very briefly. but there's also things like single sign-on, audit logs, publicly shareable subjects, more data migration, and also priority support. So let's just jump very briefly into what manager permission actually is. And for that, believe it or not, I'm going to jump back into the Waybook dashboard. So the manager permission here means that we're able to essentially empower some of our team members between the existing roles that live within your Waybook. So if we head over into the members tab and we click on any of our users, you'll see here, this is the same view that if you were to invite new members onto your team, you're essentially able to choose whether you want them to be a read-only for your Waybook, an admin, giving them full access rights and also the ability to change your billing and your planning and everything else, or give them some elements of control over your content, be it either an author to create new subjects and new documents, or a contributor to enable them to create new documents within subjects that they've been allocated. But the new addition is Waybook Manager. And what this enables you to do is to turn any of your team members into a manager permission, and then you can choose what types of content that person can manage. So say we've made Andrea a manager here, we'll then head into the marketing executives, and we can see here that she's a member of this group. And if we toggle her on to be able to be a manager of that group, it essentially means that she will be able to make changes to the group, she can add members, she can remove members, essentially controlling that group as if it's her department of team and content. And then, of course, she would still be able to have the set of permissions that have been created for the group that she belongs to. So once again, members and groups always remains fully flexible for you to ensure that the right level, your right team members have access to the perfect content with the right level of control. And the manager permission just gives you that one extra layer if you want to make your permission structure a little bit more granular and specific. So all of this is available for anybody on Waybook Pro. You can, of course, switch your plan if you're on the Waybook Core plan by heading into your billing settings, or of course, if you're on Waybook Pro, you'll be able to enable managers from the members permission like I shared. If you have any thoughts or questions on the manager permission, that's one that is a great opportunity to book a call with one of our process experts who are always on hand to be able to help structure your team members in your Waybook in the most effective way. Next up, I promised you this is one that I was quite excited about, and this is, of course, the Tango importer. Now, the Tango importer became a priority for us because we know how important it is in order for you to improve the ease of creating SOPs, processes, how-to docs and information, and also how we can focus on ensuring that you can get that content into your Waybook as easily and as quickly as possible. So what Tango actually is an automated SOP recording tool. It enables you to turn on the Chrome plugin to be able to click around a couple of pages on a website, on a document, whatever you're looking to show somebody. And that will automatically screen capture in various different stages what you're doing within that process. You're then able to use their magic link to copy and paste that document straight into your Waybook, which will actually be created as a set of different steps within the document which you assign it. Once it's in there, you're of course able to edit that content in the ways that you know how within Waybook, adding more information, embellishing the content, making it look excellent, putting in different types of medium. But of course, you're able to do that all from within your Waybook dashboard. Now, the Tango importer is live on the site, but it's currently in beta. So if you're either an already existing Tango user or you're looking to try it out, please, once again, do contact support or message Elle, and she will be able to give you access to that immediately after this call. So in order to show what that looks like, essentially, you can create a flow in Tango, and then you can import that knowledge into any of your documents. So let me just show you very briefly how to do that. And in order to do that, I will just load up Tango. And let me just jump into that account there. Okay, so let me just go into Tango here. So Tango is a Chrome plugin, so you'll be able to see that here. And essentially, if we head on to, let's do a Tango of how to use Waybook. So I'll essentially open up Tango and start capturing that workflow. So now it's capturing the workflow in terms of what we do. So we might say the best way to find our logo files is to go to the search, search for logo, click search, go to the logo document, then you're able to go to the brand colors, and then essentially, let's just finish that there because the information's there already. So once you've created that flow, you can click this green button here, and you'll notice that all of these documents are now created with the screenshots as individual steps. So we can then just share and export that, get a magic copy, and then we can go back into our Waybook, into edit. We can find one of those empty documents that we saw earlier, and you simply just click on your, click on that three dot and click import. And then here you'll be able to put in that, that copy which you've taken, and then that will essentially import those 4 steps which we've just seen in Tango directly within the document you've created, with the titles, with the links, with the images, with everything that you've got in your Tango. So this is a great way of complementing 2 fantastic tools and making sure that you can get more knowledge, more information into your Waybook account as easily as possible. Now, one of the penultimate things, and for those of you who come to these product update webinars regularly, you know there's always more that we're putting in, but we've put in additional embed options for you to be able to get more knowledge and more information centralized within your Waybook. So this is really just to ensure that Waybook truly can be your single source of truth. So what we've added in the last few weeks is many different additional embed options. The ones specifically of note are full support of Microsoft SharePoint, and also ScribeHow, which is actually a similar tool to Tango, and of course Tango itself. Now, when you're creating any new embed option, you can put this different type of media into your content by clicking the plus icon on the text editor and choosing Web Embed, and then you can put the embed code from whatever tool you like into your Waybook. Now, we encourage you, if you're using other tools, other pieces of information as your workflow, please do let us know if you'd like that to be integrated within Waybook. And we've got a pretty good record of getting it in record time. So please do let us know if there's other knowledge and information that you're keen to centralize within your Waybook. All of the embed options are default available to everybody. So once a new embed option has been added, that will be rolled out to everybody's account automatically. Next, and finally, is what is next. Now, as you know, we're always building on Waybook, and we're always trying to create additional value to get your business on the same page. Coming very soon to your Waybook account is due dates within Waybook. We also have a few different stages, improvements to the step editor, so the content editor. And to give you a sneak peek, one thing that I've actually just tested this morning on the release site for Waybook is the ability to have slash commands. So instead of clicking that plus icon when you're creating and adding new content, you can just slash and type in file or whatever that may be. And you'll be able to add more content and create your documents with a lot less clicks. We also have a huge amount of additional templates coming soon. The process experts at Waybook have been working overdrive, going through all of the core pieces of knowledge and information that are common to most businesses, but also taking special requests from the Waybook customers like yourself. So if you're trying to figure out a new process, a new tool to share with people, a new way of onboarding or training your team, then please do let us know in customer support, and we can help prioritize that with our process experts. So it will be in the template library near you very soon. I think this might be the first webinar we've done in a very long time where there's not been any questions. So I'm going to take that as a job well done for all of us on this call right here. But of course, as you know, if there's anything we can do to help get your business on the same page, please do let us know. And we're always available to support you doing the amazing work that you do. So unless anything pops up very soon, which it doesn't look like it is, I will take this opportunity to thank you all so much for your time. We wish you have a very, very good month, and we look forward to seeing you next time on the Waybook product updates, or of course, any of our other webinars which are coming in between. Have an amazing one, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.